Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Mondays Don't Suck with your host here, EM Pigram. But today, guys, I had something real important to talk to you about. This is important as every other video I talk to you. Listen, I gave a good friend of mine a call today, and I had the initial conversation dealing with finances. And from that conversation, it carried on to other things that will always help me, but also help anyone else if they're willing to do with what he says. I can't recall 100% of everything on that conversation, but I can tell you that it's definitely changed my mood for the day. It definitely lifted up my spirits and got me moving a little bit more forward for the day, and just trying to harness this energy that I have right now so I can put it out and maybe spread it amongst other people that I'm coming in contact with today. That's what I want to talk to you guys about, is who are you talking to? See, you might own a car dealership and you may be doing good for so long, and maybe something happens with the economy, or maybe you just made one bad decision and you hired a consultant or something, and they kind of just took you for most of your money, or whatever consultants do. You just hired someone, they took you for most of your money. But you have a car dealership and you go through bad times. A lot of people go through bad times, especially with companies, personal and just major companies. They all go through bad times. So you're going through those bad times, and that's the critical moment of who are you calling? Who are you talking to? Are you talking to your best friend down the road who owns a Starbucks, asking him for advice on how to get his business back, how to get your business back up together? Of course not. You gotta talk to the people who are doing the same thing that you are doing, the same people who have the like-minded mentality of what you guys are doing together. See, a McDonald's owner is never going to talk to a car dealership owner and ask them, hey, how do I make my products better? How do I attract more customers? How do I bring in more revenue? How do I make more profit? Because it just doesn't go. It's two totally different industries. It's as if you are opening up a cigar shop and you ask McDonald's how do I bring in customers? Like, you're on two different wavelengths. It doesn't work. So they may have some good ideas because maybe they've done something similar to what you're trying to start up, but ultimately they're gonna know McDonald's, they're gonna know car dealership, they're gonna know just food service industry, they're gonna know customer service, they're gonna know whatever it is that they know, whatever industry that they're in. That's their primary knowledge right there. And of course, you'll find other people who are multiversed in their knowledge, but primarily whatever business that they're in, that's what they know. That's primarily most of their knowledge is how do I build my movie theater up to be number one in the chain. That's what they know. So again, you can be down, you can going through bad times, and you call your best friend, and he has no knowledge whatsoever on how to run a business, or even just how to lift your spirits up. He's the most negative person you know, and for some reason, because he's your best friend, you gave him a call like, hey man, I'm not feeling all that great, I'm going through some hard times, I need somebody to talk to. And like, yeah, what's going on? It could start off positive but end up negative and make you feel worse. You should be like, yeah, the business isn't going too well. It's barely coming by to where I'm barely paying my bills. My marriage is going down. My kids don't want to be around me no more. Whatever the case may be. And then they could be like, well, look, man, your business is going down because you're not doing this, this, and this. But they have no idea what they're talking about because they're not in the car dealership business. They're not in the food industry business. They're in movie theaters. They don't know nothing about car dealerships and food service. And so your business is going down because you're not doing this, this, and this. Like, okay, so how do I go about doing steps 1, 2, and 3? and they tell you how to go about doing steps 1, 2, and 3. Hire this guy, hire this guy, hire this guy. These are the guys I hired. They do really good work, blah blah blah. And you hire them, and they help none. They help none whatsoever. So you're like, all right, so that didn't help for your business. The guy tells you, well, your marriage isn't going right because you spend way too much time at work, or you're not giving too much, you're not devoting enough time to your spouse, or whatever the case may be. Your kids don't like you because whenever you come home, you're tired. All you do is yell at them, or you're not helping them with their homework, or you kind of just ignore them. So kids, you come home, kids, hey kids, yeah, you guys need help with your homework? No, Dad, we already got this taken care of. All right, you don't go home, you don't yell at them, nothing. But when the real problem could be, they don't want to be hanging out with you. They don't want to talk to you because you don't listen to them when they talk to you. They could be trying to tell you, hey Dad, I got a problem at school, this and that's going on. You're like, oh, get out of my face, blah blah blah, or something. Something could be happening to where they don't want to be hanging out with you, but you talk to your best friend and he has no idea what's going on. He hasn't talked to your kids. He hasn't talked to your wife. He doesn't know nothing about your business. So the key thing is, who are you talking to? If you're talking to someone, yet you have to talk to people who are like-minded, who are on the same wavelength as you. You can't talk to a food service person about your car dealership. Same, you can't talk to a movie theater person about fast food. It's just two different wavelengths. You can't talk to someone who is in a broken marriage about your very successful marriage. They don't work. Now, the successful person can talk to the broken person about the marriage, but as far as making its way up, hey, you should be doing this with your wife. This is what I'm doing with my wife, and my wife loves me. And that person could be totally oblivious to the thought that my wife is about to leave me in the next 2 weeks. So always talk to the person who's qualified to answer your questions. Not only answer your questions, but help you solve whatever problems that you have. EM Pegrom, Mondays don't suck. Thanks for listening.